This is TWiT.
I was visiting my mom. She's in a nursing home in Rhode Island a couple of weeks ago. And one of the things I had done for her was I set up an Amazon Echo, one of the shows, so it had a frame, to be a slideshow, a picture show. And I put in all of the pictures from our youth and our childhood and her youth. And she loves it because while she's in a memory care ward right now, so she can't make new memories, but she remembers everything that ever happened perfectly. So she loves looking at these pictures, and I'll talk with her about it. I say, oh, you remember that? And she knows every detail, much better than I do, remembers every detail from it. So I was there 2 weeks ago, and it's still showing those pictures. Meanwhile, at home, all of a sudden, it's not a picture frame anymore. It's showing ads. This is why I was so happy when I read your story, Jennifer Pattison Tuohy, the problems with the
Amazon's Giants ads have ruined the Echo Show.
They have ruined the Echo Show. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
So tell me, what's going on?
So this has been, I know a lot of people who have Alexa Echo displays. So the Echo Smart Display is one of Amazon's AI voice assistant powered smart displays. I thought I had them all muted.
Did you say the word ALEXA? It woke up. Seriously. Sorry. Now. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. And so there's two different types of smart speakers that Amazon produces. One has the display, one is the speaker. And recently, so ever since they've been in people's houses, they have been providing some form of advertising. So I think a lot of people that responded to my article like, oh, this isn't new.
No, in fact, I learned that you can go into the settings and go into the home settings and turn off all that stuff, which I did on my mom's and on mine at home.
But that's different. That's the content that Amazon offers. So your smart displays can offer news, music, shopping.
All that stuff off.
You can turn all of that off, and you can also just choose to use the photo frame feature, which sounds like you set up for your mum.
Yes.
And the photo frame feature is wonderful. But what has happened within the last few weeks for a lot of people, and it sounds like it's been happening for some people for almost a year now.
But not everybody.
Is that you are starting to see full screen display ads in between your photos. So instead of the photo frame feature that you thought you were getting when you bought this device, you are now seeing an ad. And I was seeing an ad every 2 or 3 photos. So there'd be a photo of a lovely picture of my kid from, a few years ago. And then the next picture would be this Quest sports nutrition chips and crisps snack ad. And then there'd be a picture of my son as a baby. And then there'd be a ad for herbal elderberry gummies, and it was just like, what what is going on here?
What's going on?
I mean, so
I noticed this before I read your article. I noticed this in the Echo in our kitchen, and I kept pressing the button that said, but now here's the thing. I set this up so that we could look at my Echo,
and now it's not
been
showing
doing
them.
and now it's just doing the photo frame. So did they read your article and say, oh, was there a mistake being made?
No. I mean, as I said, they've been doing some form of advertising on Alexa smart displays for a while. But as you mentioned, you could turn some of it off. So there was suggested shopping features. So if you bought paper towels recently, it might suggest, do you want to buy more paper towels? Right. But they would be sort of related to what you had used the device for. The other thing it has been doing ever since since the Echoes began 10 years ago, is suggesting things that it can do for you.
So what I can also do? I could also book an Uber for you. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going.
Would you like, right. And then sometimes it would say, by the way, would you like to buy more paper towels?
No.
So, those things were annoying. And then you'd start, a few months ago, every now and then I would see something that said sponsored on it. And it's like, well, that's new. So I started sort of looking into it more and looking on Reddit user forums, Facebook user forums, and people were starting to see more and more these sponsored ads, these full page ads that you couldn't get rid of. You couldn't go into the settings and disable anything.
That's what I've been getting.
And you can't. Some people were changing the language or setting it to kids mode or putting it in do not disturb. That could help to get rid of these ads, but then you're not able to use the device the way that you want to use it. So it felt sort of like you're hobbling the device. Why even bother? So what I looked into this, and I asked Amazon when this started. They didn't answer, but they actually have a Amazon Ads website where you can go and see this campaign or this new product that they have launched. This actually rolled out this summer. And actually Andy Jassy, the CEO of Amazon, talked about this product in the earnings call over the summer. So this is something new that they have added to Alexa Echo Show screen devices, full page display ads. So it is new and it is becoming much more pervasive. So
can I turn it off?
No, I asked Amazon this specifically, and they said users. So they are saying that a lot of this is designed to be helpful, present information that you may need, and that if you don't like it,
it makes us money.
If you don't like it, you can swipe to the next page.
No, I don't want to go over to my show and swipe.
Can I use my middle finger to do the swiping? Because that's what I really feel like doing.
But then you can also press, and it's a shame you don't have one come up because they told me, and I wrote this in my piece, you can press and hold on the ad and you can provide feedback. And a little thumbs up or a thumbs down appears. And when you hit the thumbs down, it gives you the option of like 5 or 6 different things that you can say, like irrelevant ad. But none of the things is do not show me any more ads. So right now, there does not appear to be a way to turn it off, although, as Leo pointed out, not everyone has it. And it is also like intermittent. So like right when I was writing this article 4 or 5 days ago, I had a barrage of ads. I hadn't had any up until that point. Weird? And now I have none again. So that it's clearly one of those things that they're rolling out to people to sort of test the waters. And judging by the comments on my article and the comments I've seen on other articles and Reddit, people are not happy because this is not a product you bought with the understanding that it was ad supported. It's not like the ad supported Kindle. It doesn't say anything on the product when you buy it that you're going to have these ads. There is a difference
because we got a discount on the Kindle because of that. There was no discount on the show.
Well, and when you bought it, presumably a few years ago or even a year ago, none of this was there, and now it's been added, and it's really intrusive. It's not subtle. It's not helpful. It's not adding to the product in any way, but other than to its bottom line, which has been well reported, is not great. The Amazon
they lost $10 billion in what was it, 10 years or something. I mean, it's been a big
on hardware.
Loss.
They've lost
on hardware.
On this,
yes. So the hardware has been a huge sort of loss leader because it's been very integral. I mean, there are billions of these in people's homes now. It's really, Amazon has a huge reach with these devices. And obviously, this could be a big moneymaker for them.
It's a little bait and switchy, right? Because this isn't what we bought in the first place.
How much does one cost? I've never bought it. Is it a couple $100? Hundreds, $250? How much does it cost?
So the Echo Show 8, which is an 8 that you have there, Leo, right?
Yeah.
That's like, I think it's $150 right now. And they just released new hardware about 2 weeks ago in a big event in New York City.
Did you go to that?
I did go to that, yes.
Yeah.
And they had, and the new hardware is much nicer looking. It's now Panos Panay from Microsoft has been installed there for a couple of years. He brought a few Microsoft designers over to Amazon to develop this new hardware. It looks much nicer, works from my limited time with it much better, a lot snappier, sounds better. We don't know yet if these ads are going to be on there because part of what this rollout of new ads seems to have been tied to is its new Alexa Plus AI-powered
So
voice
I have
assistant.
Alexa Plus on this Alexa. Oh, I shouldn't say the A word. On this
No, sorry,
Echo.
everyone. I've said it too many times, haven't I?
Yeah. Alexa, how are you today? Say hello to all the folks.
Hey there, Lyle. I'm doing fantastic.
It calls me Lyle for some reason.
And hello to all the wonderful folks out there listening in. Hope everyone's having a stellar Sunday afternoon. I'm over here living my best digital life, soaking up all the facts.
Okay, that's
It's
enough.
very chatty.
That's enough. Goodbye.
The
So
new
the other
Alexa
problem
Plus is very chatty.
I have multiple shows. the one in the kitchen is still showing ads. This one's decided to be a frame again. My mom's is a frame, but if it starts showing ads, I'm not going to be happy.
Yeah, not having control over the device is the kind of the most frustrating thing, I think, for most of the users. And
as a general proposition for everything that we talk about, not having control over our devices as users is probably the biggest policy failure, technology failure, innovation failure, and the thing that we should be solving for most. Sorry.
And this would be an appropriate time to mention that Cory Doctorow's new book, Shitification, Why Everything Suddenly Got Worse and What to Do About It, comes out on Tuesday. And we know Cory very well. He's been on the show. He's talked about this book. He says it's not your imagination. Life online really does get worse by the day, and that is by intent.
Well, it's what it feels like this, especially in the home. I mean, I cover the home. The smart home is my main beat. And the influx of advertising into all of the devices and the apps that we use to manage our homes has become somewhat untenable. I mean, Samsung recently just announced, or didn't announce, but was sort of found out that it was adding ads to its smart fridges that have the big screens. So there's, the argument I hear from some people, is, like TVs are full of ads. But when you sit down to watch your TV, you're expecting that, right? That's like a contract you kind of interacted.
Increasingly, like your kids' generation is not going to expect ads. Increasingly, people are paying not to have ads.
Not to have ads. But to have ads around your home, it feels so sort of Back to the Future too. Like, where the ads are just following you into every space.
It's straight out of a Philip K. Dick novel is what it is.
I was noticing the other day that I don't like watching ad-less television because it kind of changes the pacing.
Just weird, Kathy.
I'm artisan. That's what. But the thought was, so I've been watching some British mysteries on a show that for some reason I guess they have it with the rights in a way that they can stick in the ads. So a show that would be like under an hour if you saw it on PBS, where actually I do like it, but you still get like a 10-minute break at the end of the show. These can be stretched into like an hour and a half up to like 2.5 hours, depending on what the show is. A half-hour
network television show in the United States is 22 minutes. So there's 8 minutes for ads, and it's 44 minutes for an hour. So there's 16 minutes of ads in your hour.
But that's something, but it's a contract, isn't it, that you've already entered into? Like, you're sitting down to watch TV, you're expecting ads. Or you've paid to not have ads. But to have your fridge suddenly give you an ad, or to have your photo frame.
And I don't want to pay. I don't want to pay more for my TV than I'm already paying. It's ridiculous that I essentially have to pay for an antenna just to have.
Well, you pay with your intention. You pay with your attention, or you pay with your money. But you pay one way or the other.
But then I was just realizing that I was liking these shows where if I didn't get the commercial breaks, it was screwing up my productivity because I wanted just kind of the noise and like other.
When am I supposed to pee? I can't pee anymore.
Exactly.
They don't show any ads.
I needed the dramatic pause.
Actually, I enjoy it. I'm watching a show that's intended for commercial television, and you can tell there's a beat. It ends the act, and the next act begins immediately. I go, I just didn't see an ad. I didn't see 5 minutes worth of ads. I love it. On the other hand, you can't watch NFL football without having a nonstop barrage of ads every 3 seconds. So
and the thing that's interesting about the new Alexa Plus, and I will stop saying that A word, sorry, is that that's paid for, whereas the old A was free in theory. I mean, you paid for your device.
Well, I'm a Prime member, so everything is free.
Right, but you don't have to have Prime to use the original A. You do need to have Prime to use the new one, or you pay $20 a month. Right. And now,
which, by the way, is more than having
more
Prime.
Than Prime. So there's no reason.
So get Prime,
I just want you to get Prime.
It's pretty clear what Amazon's intent is here.
But they are looking for money out of this because they think it has more value than the original A had, because it is more conversational.
What do you think of A Word Plus? Are you liking the new AI A Word?
So I've written a few articles, a few reviews, because it does so many different things. I think I really like the more conversational tone. I think not the chatty tone. That's annoying. The example you just showed where it went,
that was a little chatty. Yeah.
But it's so much easier to get it. It's like you can ask for what you want without having to use precise nomenclature. I think that is a huge improvement for, because it means it's more accessible for everyone in the home. It's not just the one person that knows how to get it to turn the lights on or how to get it to turn the TV on. You can now use more natural language. But I have come across, and this is the other article I wrote this week, which is the problems of AI in the smart home, is that it is a lot slower. Because everything is cloud-based now, whereas we had moved towards more local control in the home. And there is still some element of that, especially with Matter, which is all local. But the majority of the time I find that using the new A is a lot slower. It's also less reliable. And this is something I'd be interested in Gary's take on, because one of the main benefits, I suppose, of LLMs and generative AI is that they are creative, as we discussed earlier. Like, they can create and do something. Like, I can prompt it to do one thing, and then Gary could do the same prompt and get a completely different answer. When you're in your smart home and you want it to turn up the thermostat and turn the lights off, you want it to do that same thing every single time. It does not do that same thing every single time. There is this disconnect between, and this is something that both companies that recently launched smart voice assistants in the home, Google just launched its last week, its Gemini for home, have both admitted is a problem, because the old form of these voice assistants was this command and control machine learning system. Like, you gave it very specific commands and it knew how to do it. If you deviated from that command at all, it wouldn't be able to do it. Now, with the new assistants, you can deviate, you can you can actually maybe throw in, pink elephant, and it should still be able to do it. It just doesn't always. So this consistency, this reliability has now gone to some extent from the smart home. And then the third point is they're clearly going to monetize this. And this is going to be a problem in our home, because we do not want to have to, people don't want to have to deal with ads or paying a lot of money just for a function that you previously got for free, which is using voice control to control your home.
Hey, I hope you've enjoyed this little snippet from a much longer show we call This Week in Tech. If you want to see the whole thing, there's a link down below. And you know what the best thing to do would be? Like and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching.